on Coleman. Count on Coleman. If your world is looking strange, you can count on Coleman for change.
Hello, Baton Rouge, and yes, here we are. I say District 10. We sit here at the Leo S. Butler Center with the Coleman Media Center podcast. And so I am grateful that these gentlemen have come to join me today. You know, it's all about folk understanding what's going on in the community, educating people so they will know what's out there and to be able to embrace and be a part of it. So that's what this is all about. That is the motive. And so today I have with me Pastor Ranches Hall and his team. Now, know that this is the Greater Green Chapel AME Church here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so I have Pastor Ranches Hall. I have Mr. Kenneth Pitts. And if any of you all went to school here in Baton Rouge, you all should know Mr. Pitts. And then that's Matthew Pitts. And then Mr. Kenneth Pitts. I'm not going to give Mr. Kenneth that prop there, but Mr. Matthew Pitts was the educator. I say educator, always an educator. And then Matthew Pitts. So today we're going to get right in and we're going to talk about where they're located, what they're doing, where they're going, the whole, and what they've done, and the whole 9 yards. And I would be remiss if I did not say at this point that where they are located in Baton Rouge is a part now of District 10. And so, you know, you call this area Easy Town. So that is, and so at this time, Pastor, I'm going to yield to you just to tell the listening audience a little bit about you. Many know you as a pastor, but I can believe that there's some work that you've done before becoming that pastor. So share with this listening audience.
Amen. Thank you, Councilwoman Coleman. Look, I grew up in the area I'm pastoring. It's actually my home church. I've been pastoring a little over 30 years. I pastored in Greensburg area. That area where the church sits, my home front, right there on North Acadian Thruway West. I went to Eden Park Elementary School, went to Capitol High School. That area is a familiar area for me. It's important for me to be back home. I'm glad to be back home. I'm glad that I received the appointment from Bishop to return back to my home church. We do have some visions for that area, the Easy Town area. I've scanned that area. I did like Nehemiah. When Nehemiah was getting ready to go back home, he took a survey of his home to see what needed to be taken care of. So I've been surveying in the North 32nd Street all to North 29th Street. I survey in that area and see that there's a lot of work that needs to be did in that area, like repairing the breaches in that area. And I'm concerned. I am passionate about that area, to see that area look like it may not look once was, but at least we can do some things in that area, and that's one of the things that we want to service the area. At Greens Chapel, we're aiming to service that complete area there, to reach out to those that are in need. We wanted to attack the crime area and giving the children and the families activities to get involved with, to get them off the streets. We're excited that what the young people are doing. Greens Chapel has a lot of civil rights history also. Okay. I can't really get into the depth, but Brother Matthew Pitts can give us some of that historical information on the historical on what the church has been doing as far as history is concerned. He can give us some of that information if he wants to jump in here and share some of that history of the church.
Tell us where you're located.
We're located on 1232 North 32nd Street. Okay. 1232 North 32nd Street. Between Bogan Walk and North Street.
Okay.
It's a red brick church that sits between Bogan Walk and North Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, and so Mr. Matthew Pitts, I think he has yielded to you. So you can kind of tell folk who you are, how you are connected to Green Chapel, and where you've come from along the way, and your history there at Green Chapel.
First, I grew up in the Green Chapel area. My father had a farm on the corner of K and Thruway in Choctaw. And that's where I grew up.
Okay.
Had a little truck farm there, so I'm a farm boy.
All right.
When the area was a farm.
Yes.
I attended school at Scott Street Elementary School, and then I went to McKinley.
Yes. Smart name. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, then McKinley was split. Capital High School was established on Capitol Avenue. And you call it Gus Young Avenue now.
Yes.
And I started my high school there in the 10th grade. After they split McKinley away for a new high school.
Wow.
So I completed Capitol High School, and I did go to Southern and receive my degrees, and I ended up in the teaching profession. However, I was in the military as I received a commission through ROTC at Southern University. And I was commissioned as a second lieutenant. And I stayed with the military active and reserve until I retired. I don't immediately live in the area now, but I attend service in that Green Chapel AME church.
How long had you been at Green Chapel?
I have been at Green Chapel as long as I can remember.
Okay. All right.
That was the only church I remember as a kid.
Okay.
My dad used to go to Bethlehem Church downtown.
Yes.
And they established a AME church in the Eden Park area. And my father moved his membership to Greater Green Chapel in the park area, we used to call it.
That's right, the park area. That's right. And so at Green Chapel, what do you do? What do you do there at the church? I tell you what I see you all do, and that is you all support the pastor. Right. You all support the mission. You all support the activities that go on there at the church. Can't ever come there and not see you. So I do know that much. So what's your position there at the church?
Well, I'm a member of the Steward Board and pastor. I served as pro temp, they call it.
Okay.
And pro temp really just a title, if the pastor's away, someone knows who to contact.
Great. Okay.
So I'm a member of the Steward Board. The pastor is the chairman of the Steward Board, however.
Okay.
So over the years, Green Chapel was involved in the civil rights movement.
Okay. Okay.
Years ago, we had a pastor who came there, and he participated in marches and what have you during the civil rights era. And I'm proud of that because I was young then, but it happened.
Yes, sir.
So now the church is trying to minister to the needs of the community religiously and socially in the community.
Yes, sir.
And that's the big effort we have now, trying to call people to Christ.
Amen. That's right.
And also address some of these social problems of the area.
Of the area, great. All right, Mr. Kenny, come on here and tell us who you are and what you do, and yes, where you come from.
All right, I'm Kenneth Pitts, and I've been in Green Chapel pretty much all my life. So when my mother was living, she was a member of St. Mary's Baptist Church right there on Acadian. And when she married into the Pitts family, when she married my dad, all his people were involved with Green Chapel.
Okay.
So my grandfather, my grandmother, and all those folks, my uncles, my aunts, all of them came through Green Chapel. And we have one of the big families in that particular church and everything. So at an early age, coming through the church, they kind of groomed me for a trustee board. But like I always tell the story that I used to come to trustee board meeting with Mr. Sibley, who was the trustee board pro tem at the time, and if we get there and nobody showed up, instead of him telling me to go home, we went to church and he sat me down and he got me totally on the logic of what exactly was a trustee and what they supposed to do. So just to give you a little background on my educational history. So I started at Park Elementary, went there for a few years, and desegregation hit, so everybody that lived south of North Street had to go to another school. So I ended up at Bernard Terrace Elementary School, and from there I went to Westdale, and Matt had just kind of got over to Westdale.
Okay.
And from Westdale, I ended up at Capitol Senior High School. And I played football, basketball, and baseball at Capitol. Went to LSU for like a semester. Decided I needed to work, and I started working for Gulf States Utilities. And Gulf States went into energy, and I started as a construction worker, and I ended up in management. In my last 10 years, I was a gas trainer for the company, and I was training in New Orleans and in West Monroe, in Little Rock, Arkansas, and in Jackson, Mississippi. So thank God this past February, I retired with 39 and a half years with the company, and I'm still in my right mind. I got good health.
Yes, that's important.
And, you know, I'm able to do more stuff, but with the church, I'm president of the pro tem board, the trustee board, and what we do, we make sure the temporal issues at the church are taken care of. We have something broke, we gonna fix it. People got complaints about anything around the grounds or whatever, we gonna look into it and we gonna take care of it. We do a pretty good job with that. As far as the church is concerned, I'm the pro tem trustee board, I'm the drummer, I'm an usher.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I kind of feel in where God puts me to help, and I try to be indispensable with anything I do with the church, because I love Green Chapel, and I always tell people my love for Green Chapel, my love of God is two different loves.
Okay.
And if anybody don't understand that and they want me to explain that, I explain that. You know, but love for the church is universal, should be for everybody. If that's your church, because I got on my daughter when she got married, they go to Downson Chapel, and she didn't want to have her services at Down Chapel. She wanted to go somewhere else, a big church. I said, you've never been to that church. This church has supported you. It's brought you to where you're at, gave you scholarships and everything. Now you want to go, no, you should be proud of your church. And I told my wife, and they've heard me say this before, if I die tomorrow, don't you take me nowhere else, bring me through Green Chapel.
There you go.
Because you might pass by Green Chapel and I might be out there cutting the grass, because I do that too.
There you go. That's right.
And I
So
clean
whatever.
the church. So I'll be at the church a lot, and some of the people in the community thought I was the pastor.
Yes, yes.
So I'm very involved in it, and since we gotten Reverend Hall back to our church, because I remember when he was just starting out in the church, we were all coming up around the same time. I'm happy to have him because his vision and his ideas for the church and everything is in the direction that we should be going, and we should pray on our course.
And on that note, let's talk about your vision and some of the activities that you have, Pastor, going on. But your vision, what it says, without a vision, you're going to perish. So you got to know where you're going, got to know where you're going and how to get there in order to get some great results. So talk to us about what are some of the things that you have going on or you plan to have going on, what you've done already, and your vision for your church.
Let me just share a few of the things that we're taking place right now. We're on the 24th, which is believe this coming Wednesday, the church is going to be doing some hot meals for the community. The community is involved. They're invited to come and to share. Some other things is going to be setting up mentoring program for math for children to help children educate the children and prepare them. Of course, one of the members that are on the board expressed the fact that they have that LEAP test coming up. Want to make sure that those children are prepared to be able, when that test is put before them, they'll be able to handle it. They're also going to do some other activities on the 27th at the Mall of Louisiana. They're inviting some young people to involve, inviting other churches, not just Green Chapel,
yes,
but other churches in that community, St. Mary, First Baptist, all those churches in that community have been invited to participate in the vision to help, so that we can do something in the community as a group. As a group to help that community there in Easy Town, so that we just want to reach those people with the message of Jesus Christ, because right now we're doing a teaching right now on how to build disciples. So we're looking at sharing the gospel with them, and also as my Stuart Pro Tem says, to deal with the social issues in our community.
Yes.
Those are important. It's one thing for them to have the word and get the word, but also they have physical needs.
Yes,
and we want to make
indeed.
sure that those physical needs are met also. So we're looking at not just activities on Sundays, but activities throughout the week,
Yes.
to include families throughout the week, to let them know we not only love them on Sunday, but we love them throughout the week.
Yes.
We care, and this is just something that God gave me. We care, and everybody matters. That's important.
Right.
We care, and everybody matters.
Wow.
So that means everybody in the community, regardless of who they are, they matter to God and they matter to us at Green Chapel also.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And so on the 23rd, what time is that?
On the 24th?
On the 24th, what time is that, and where do they come to?
It begins at 12 o'clock. It's from 12 to 2, and they come to Green Chapel. They come
Wow.
to 1232 North 32nd Street there, and they'll be able to get a hot meal there.
Wow.
From 12 o'clock to 2 p.m. Right there in Chapel, 1232 North 32nd Street.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's good stuff there. And so, and then the fact that you are working with the children, that's another great thing right there. You know, when I came to Green Chapel and I looked around and I felt the energy there of you all's concern with the people, with the youth, with the families. And was definitely, an impression.
I'd like to share something else. Just recently on this past Saturday, we were at the Jefferson Manor Rehabilitation Home.
Okay.
The young people went there. We gave gifts to the residents there.
Wow.
We fed the residents. We fed residents. We interacted with the residents, and one of the most beautiful things, the young people sung. We have a young minister that's there. We call him Braylon Pitts. He ministered during that time. But one of the most beautiful things about this is that the residents, they wanted to say something, and they showed us how much they appreciated us.
Yes,
This was the second time we went there last year. We went there last year, but we went again this year because they were so excited last year that they wanted us to come back. So we want to be able to give back to the community, be able to show individuals that they love. And sometimes people when they're in those rehabilitation centers, they don't feel like nobody loves them.
Nobody.
And I've noticed that in my ministry, early part of my ministry, we did a lot of nursing homes. We visited nursing homes, and people feel like people would just push them aside. But we wanted to go to let them know, even though that they're there in that facility, God still loved them too. Yeah.
And see, the great thing, look at the two populations you're bringing together, the youth and the senior citizens. And that the two most important groups there. And you are correct. A lot of the folk feel that they've been left out. But when those children come through there and somebody to see them, then it lights up their world. And don't take a peppermint or a pair of socks or something to them. Yes, indeed. That's real. That's real to them. And that's what it ought to be about. And then we're teaching children how to give. If you are a giving kid, you're going to be a giving adult. And so we're teaching them about how to give and not how to always receive. So that's excellent, gentlemen. That's great stuff there. And even when we talk about over there in that area, there are some blighted properties over there that have been put on the list, going to be put on the list, the whole 9 yards, because it has to, that area has to get some attention, and it is of utmost importance that that happens. And then, you know, even being there in that area, here it is. I tell folks, you can live in the hood, but it ain't got to look like the hood, you know. And then once we fix it up and we keep your trash picked up all around and about, throw stuff out, no littering and all of that. But that is definitely something that we've got to make sure that we address it. You are correct that we address that. And so with that being mind, and we're not on record for saying tearing down folk homes, but if it is such a piece of property that's leaning and so bad and no electricity and no water and no roof and no whatever, then it is a hazard to the people in the community, and we've got to definitely do something about that. And so I understand that, and you know, when you talk about the children and what you're going to have coming up, I understand that you are an author and a songwriter and all of that good stuff. So talk to us about that. It's important that you be able to just be a master player stuff. Yeah, Mighty Poe Rat ain't got but one hole to run to. I can tell you that. And so this is of utmost importance. So yes.
I do a little songwriting here and there. I did a piece a couple years ago. I have not did anything lately, but one of the last cut that I did that went kind of underground nationally, internationally, was a song that is entitled "We Need Love All Over the World." It was a very effective piece because we talked about how we dealt in the song because we were dealing, and the song came out of inspiration of gun violence. With all the gun violence were going on. And so one day I was sitting at the keyboard and working, and all of a sudden God began to give me that in my spirit that we need love all the way. The song talks about putting down guns, put the guns down, let's come together and have a conversation.
Yes.
That song, it deals with that because I was seeing, especially at one of the young children, a young boy got killed inside the home because a bullet went through the wall and he got killed.
Yes.
And that inspired me to write that song. So I'm focused on that we can come together sometime and just put the guns down and communicate because the gun violence is terrible when we see the young people, the young black boys with all the gun violence as if they don't have no value on life. And those issues, to me, I take heart for those issues. Sometimes I use my music, the gift that God gave me, to send a message. Sometimes it's not over the pulpit, but sometimes it's through music, through songs that I try to allow God to use me to say things through music. Yes, ma'am. Through music.
Yes, indeed.
Through music.
That
yes.
is definitely a great topic, or either I should say to address there. And you're talking about gun violence, domestic violence, just violence all over. And so, I know that the young people, if they see that you care, if they know that you care and you reach out to them, then we can definitely retrieve some of them to come and just show up. All we want them to know is that there is a better way of life, a better way of life. And then when you see a gun, not seeing it as something for violence, but if you hunt, you hunt. But there's a way to do any and everything, and it's important that that we respect a gun and respect weapons in order that we can do the right thing with it. And so that is definitely, that's good stuff.
But I want to take this opportunity to say to you, on behalf of Green Shop and YPDs, we're certainly grateful for your passion and for your involvement in the community. We're really grateful that on this project that we're working on. We're grateful. We certainly want you to know that we appreciate you with your passion and involvement. Brother Kenny mentioned the other day we were leaving. He said, you know what? She sure has a lot of energy. Yeah. But your energy, it's your energy. Your energy brings excitement and it motivates people. And when leadership have that kind of energy, it helps motivate people. So we want to say, I want to say as pastor and Greens Chapel, we certainly salute you for your impact, that you have an impact in this district and your involvement in this district. We're grateful for that.
I say amen to that.
Oh, now. Well, now, thank you. Well, I'll have to say I thank you on all of that there. Thank you so very much there. And so, just like anything you're in, it ought to be a calling. You ought to be called to it, to do what is. My sons asked me before, well, Mama, you sure you want to do all of this? You don't want to just retire and maybe travel or whatever? I tell them I got some more to give. When I am given out, then I'm going to know it, and then I'm going to go on and get on out the way and let the next come on in and do whatever it is, but still have some more to give. And I am grateful to have folk like you all who know how to get that mantle and run with it and serve the people. Not about us, not about us, but about those whom we serve, and I'm grateful to that. And so with that being said, Baton Rouge, District 10, there are the flyers for all of the events. Show it to them. There it is. That holiday enrichment is right there. And so also we have, you're going to come on out and you're going to get fed on that. What day is that, gentlemen? 24th. The 24th. That's Christmas Eve. Yeah, from 12 to 2. And I think that you have some great cooks, you all, in that ministry over there. So you better try to go there and get you a nice meal. And so we have, in order to get in touch with you all, Pastor, how do they get in touch with you?
My email is hall4404 at bellsouth.net. That's hall4404 at bellsouth.net. You can reach me. That's my contact email. You can reach me at that email.
All right, great. And so you all will be there that Saturday. And so Baton Rouge, here you have it. And what I like about this ministry is they are cohesive. You can go to a meeting and you're not going to see just one of these gentlemen here, but you see 3 or more, I'm going to say. And so just grateful for what you all exemplify and how you all do what you do. And so right now we're going to say you all have learned, listening audience, good stuff here. You've gotten your history. You also see how McKinley and Capita can still sit at the same table. Yeah, yes, indeed. And so I'm going to ask that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and then want you to know that it's all about getting information out there so that our people become educated on what's going on in the community, and that has happened this morning. And remember, Green Chapel, and if you're looking for a church home, or if you're looking to fellowship, what time is church? And
Sunday school is at 9:45. Worship service start at 11 o'clock.
And when they say 11, it's 11, folk. So you better be there on time. And so, yes. And so on behalf of us here, we say we thank you all for coming. And remember, Baton Rouge and District 10, the best district I know, Coleman cares.
Count on Coleman. Count on Coleman. If your world is looking strange, you can count on Coleman for change.